We all desire submissive girlfriends or wives, but the reverse is happening instead. If you're watching this, you're probably suspecting that you might be one of these nice guys, submissive boyfriends. Let's get serious for a moment. Do you do any of these things? You ask for her permission to hang out with friends, buy something, or to do something you like on your own. You let her call the shots on everything, from what movie to watch to where to spend the holidays and what car you drive. You never ask for it, but she gets to throw her opinion around like it's the only one that matters. You tolerate her control freak tendencies and you make excuses for her behavior. If any of those things sound familiar, you're in trouble. I won't sugarcoat this because there's no point. What you're dealing with here is the world's #1 relationship killer. Because trust me, nothing fucks up a relationship faster than a man giving up control. And believe me, there's nothing more pathetic than a man groveling for approval from his own woman. It saddens me when it happens to my fellow men. But here's the good news. You can still pull yourself out of this rut and restore your self-respect before it's too late. You just need to know what you're up against and how to fight back. And yes, you can still turn her into that submissive girlfriend you've always wanted. First things first. Toss out whatever you currently believe about dating, love, and women. For example, if you've heard things like, giving her power is key to a happy relationship, or let her take the lead sometimes, she'll be excited to be in charge, or always ask her opinion to show you care, or never disagree with her, it'll make her feel more loved, or always be nice, even if she's not. Then guess what? These ideas will destroy you as a man. It's as if there's a mass conspiracy designed to weaken and turn men into subservient followers of women. Stop listening to self-styled experts and relationship gurus. All they do is to peddle pure lies, day in and day out. The truth is that being submissive to your woman is a one-way ticket to relationship misery, not just for you. Here's the ultimate kicker. When you're submissive, she won't be happy either. You might think she'll enjoy being the one in control, but deep down, she fucking hates it. This surprises most guys, but women don't really want to lead. In fact, when women is forced to lead, it usually ends in disaster. Women simply can't handle the responsibility of leading a relationship. It's not in their nature. When women have control, they become irritable, neurotic, and downright bitchy. They grow unhappy in ways they can't even articulate. So believe me when I say this. Women are designed by nature to submit. At her core, the essence of every woman is submission. And if that statement makes you uncomfortable, good. This isn't for everyone, and if you're looking for a cozy, woke discussion, you've come to the wrong place. That's the way it is. Women are built to follow, not to lead. If a woman cannot submit to a man, she cannot commit to him. So here's the ultimate key. To get your girlfriend to submit, you have to first dominate her mind. And to know how to dominate a woman's mind, you must first understand how the female psyche works. So, let's get into that right now. As anyone familiar with Shogun Method will tell you, women operate on a subconscious level. They don't even realize what drives most of their emotions and actions. So, if you know how to tap into this hidden part of her mind, you can lead her, control her, and eventually put her in a state of emotional enslavement. I know that sounds intense, and so, before we go further, you need to promise me. Use this knowledge only on the one woman you're 100% serious about. Shogun Method isn't a game, because once she's hooked, the effect can last for life. Never, ever use this to harm anyone. The risk is high, and we cannot overestimate the danger of misusing this knowledge. Once you've made this promise, you're ready to proceed. Consider yourself lucky, because you're about to learn secrets that have been buried for a long, long time. This isn't lightweight pick-up fluff you see elsewhere. What you'll learn here is culled from the Shogun Method Brotherhood, probably the only place you can learn how to use mind control on women. So, here's the Shogun Method submissive girlfriend technique in its full, uncensored glory. There are 2 steps in the technique, and the first step is isolation. A teenager abandons their family to join a cult. A wife leaves her 20-year marriage for a man she just met. Friends turn into enemies over the smallest arguments. These aren't rare, and they all share one thing in common: isolation. To make a woman submit, you must isolate her psychologically from everyone else. You've got to build a wall around her heart, cutting her off from the world and drawing her deeper into yours. In Shogun Method, there are 5 isolation strategies to detach a woman from her world. We're going to describe each strategy in detail, so be prepared to take notes. The first isolation strategy is to create rituals. Shared rituals and private jokes act as emotional anchors, drawing her closer to you each time you use them. These small, intimate moments create the classic Shogun Method, us versus them dynamic, making her feel that there's something between you that no one else can touch or understand. For example, if she always texts you goodnight, or if you have a shared nickname only she uses, she'll associate these unique connections solely with you. The second isolation strategy is to be her exclusive confidant. Aim to be the person she turns to first, especially for matters she feels uncomfortable discussing with others. Listen intently when she opens up about her insecurities, frustrations, or doubts. When she feels truly heard, she'll come to rely on you as her go-to source of understanding and emotional relief. Reinforce this connection by validating her feelings and subtly questioning whether anyone else would truly understand her the way you do. Say to her, "You know, it's rare to find someone who really listens like this. Do you feel comfortable talking to anyone else about this?" The third isolation strategy is to make her world feel distant. Subtly guide her to feel like other people in her life are less aligned with her emotions, values, or dreams. You can do this in small conversational nudges. For example, if she shares a frustrating interaction with a friend, agree with her, but amplify the distance. It sounds like she doesn't really understand what you're going through. Honestly, few people do, but I get it. This gentle reinforcement suggests to her that maybe others can't relate to her as deeply as you can. The fourth isolation strategy is to limit access to her support system. When the relationship deepens, she'll naturally want to spend more time with you. Encourage this closeness by subtly discouraging certain people or activities that take her away from you. You might suggest that she deserves better than a friend who mistreats her. Then, you might gently encourage her to focus on you instead. Keep this tactic subtle and focused on her well-being. Instead of bluntly criticizing her social circle, let her come to her own conclusions. Say to her, "You know, it's strange how some people don't appreciate you as they should. If it were me, I'd never make you feel that way." The fifth and final isolation is to create unique shared experiences she can't replicate elsewhere. Take her somewhere or share experiences that only the two of you will ever have. By creating shared memories that no one else is part of, you deepen the emotional isolation further. Choose activities that reflect her personal interests or challenge her comfort zone in a way that bonds the two of you. This could be anything from exploring a new city together, a quiet weekend getaway, or even an inside activity that only the two of you share, like a unique hobby or late-night conversations that become your thing. This fifth strategy leads into the second step of the submissive girlfriend technique, to put her on an emotional roller coaster. Here's a secret about the female mind that you'll never learn outside Shogun Method. It's hardwired to respond to emotional extremes. Women are emotional creatures to their core, and nothing keeps them hooked more than a constant up and down emotional ride. That's why women chase after bad boys and treat nice guys like doormats. Nice guys are steady, predictable, boring. Bad boys provide an endless cycle of thrill and uncertainty, which women find irresistible. So, to lead her mind, you've got to strap her on an emotional roller coaster and put her on a wild ride. While most people think of good times for bonding, it's actually the messy, chaotic experiences that have the most power. Imagine going on a date, only to have a downpour drench you both as you scramble for cover, or a road trip that's interrupted by a flat tire in the middle of nowhere, or a fancy dinner that turns disastrous, forcing you both to hit the nearest greasy diner. It's these shared moments that stick, creating a bond that only strengthens over time. So remember, create bad shared experiences. The more she associates you with these intense emotions, the more she'll feel deeply connected to you. And as she grows closer to you, she'll become emotionally isolated from everyone else. The more this happens, the easier it is to guide her into deeper submission. Okay, we've covered a lot of ground, and so let's do a quick summary. There are 2 steps in the submissive girlfriend technique. The first step is to isolate her, and you do it with the 5 Shogun Method isolation strategies. Create rituals, be her exclusive confidant, make her world feel distant, limit access to her support system, and create unique, shared experiences. Once she is isolated, proceed to the second and final step to put her on an emotional roller coaster. Bad shared experiences are key to intensely powerful emotional roller coasters. Here's the problem, though. Most guys go too far and end up sabotaging themselves. In Shogun Method, I teach a technique that creates emotional roller coasters within a controlled environment. You draw her into a moment of intimacy, then pull back, creating a high, then a low. It's a hypnotic sequence that binds her emotions to you, forming a powerful emotional addiction. This sequence is fractionation. Imagine the effect of implanting into her mind a scene from her favorite thriller. With fractionation, she's fully engrossed, craving the next twist, biting her nails, waiting on the edge of her seat. And once you've fractionated her a few times, her disrespect or indifference will vanish, replaced by pure captivation. She's now in a loop, craving more of that emotional rush. And if you keep it going, moving toward a more romantic or intense dynamic, she'll fall harder and deeper for you. This is how fractionation turns into emotional enslavement. It's intense, it's powerful, and it's impossible to resist. Okay, we're coming to the end of this video. You have two choices in front of you. You can choose to walk away and try to get by with what you know, or you can choose to master mind control by fully diving into Shogun Method and learning how to use fractionation to get the submissive girlfriend you want. What's it going to be? Look, I'm not offering you some trendy pickup tricks here. What you've learned is the real deal, backed by 18,000 plus Shogun men who've used these tactics successfully. So if you're ready to join the Shogun Method Brotherhood and take things to the next level, it's clear what you need to do. Remember, this isn't just about you, it's for her happiness too. She craves a man to lead her, to take care of her, and to take charge of things. And once you step into that role, she'll thank you for it. Trust me. Of course, you can continue being like every other guy, lost, submissive, and hoping she might eventually respect you. But we both know how that story ends. Or you can take the only path that guarantees her submission and respect, mastering the art of fractionation. This is where it all starts and ends. Fractionation is the key to unlocking her emotional dependence, her respect, and ultimately, her complete submission to you. It's the most powerful method on the planet to make a woman addicted to you, and you won't find it anywhere else except in the Shogun Method closed community. So, if you're ready to become the kind of man who commands her loyalty, submission, and desire, then your next step is clear. Join the Shogun Method online masterclass at fractionation.org. Inside, you'll learn everything there is to know about fractionation, from the fundamentals to advanced mind control techniques that go far beyond anything you'll find online. You'll get real, actionable knowledge, proven by thousands of shoguns around the world who've used them to turn the tables on their relationships and live as the dominant men they were born to be. Your woman wants to be a submissive girlfriend to you, and this is the way to train her. Do it for her. It's time to join the revolution and be a shogun. Fractionation.org